Hello, everyone. News Channel 3, Chief Meteorologist Keith Thompson here with a live weather update on YouTube and also on Facebook. So I hope everybody's having a good evening. I got 9:03 on the clock. We'll get the latest information out here, the latest model data, and we'll go from there. Again, I hope everybody's having a good evening so far. So far, so good for me anyway. Looks like some folks are already starting to get in here. Marissa, thank you so much for saying hello. I hope that you're having a good evening. Try to get myself sort of centered here in the screen. Marissa says, go Huskies. Oh, you better hurry up and get that out of the way because I think you might be outnumbered in this room. But I got you. I got you. We're welcoming for everybody. Cody is representing the other side, right? Courtney, good evening to you. How about school tomorrow with the snow? Well, let's get right to it, right? While folks are still coming into the room here, I think it's going to be a tough call because of several reasons. One, it just really depends. Mike, hello to you. Thanks for checking in. I think it just depends on the consistency, how fast this snow comes down overnight. I would say that, it's just really a tough call. I mean, oftentimes for real, with school closings, I feel like I have a pretty good sense of who's going to close, when they're going to close, who would not close, based on a knowledge or an idea of what's going to be coming. In this particular case, I think that it is so iffy. Not that whether we're going to get any of this rain, snow, slushy mix, but could we get 2 or 3 inches that comes down in a hurry? Yeah, and that could cause a problem just like that. On the other hand, could it be spread out enough to where when the superintendents are driving their districts at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, they might feel like, no, we can make a go of it. So that's something to keep in mind. Good evening to you, Dan. Thanks for checking in there from Gun Lake. I appreciate it. Hold on just a moment. There we go. Got to adjust something there on my screen back behind me. Cindy, hey, Galeen in the house. Thanks for checking in. Constantine, Ashley, Hudsonville's here. Nancy and Alamo, appreciate it very much. Colin, hello, Rebecca. Thank you so much. I should be frozen now, Courtney. Hit if anybody else sees me frozen, let me know. Otherwise, Courtney, Mike, howdy to you too. Dan, Chief Dan's in the house. Courtney, give me a refresh there. Katie's ready for some snow. Tina and Bangor here. Marissa, your students were confident in a snow day for Sturgis. Oh, it's going to be tough. Like I said, I think it's 50-50. 50-50. Wyatt wants some snow. Connie, I understand that. All right, let's get right to it. I got about 300 folks in the room here, so I think we've got some good folks here to go with. Mike, hello to you. Thanks for holding down the fort on the other side of the state. Lynn and Waylon, thank you so much. Stephanie wants a snow day. I think a lot of teachers do, right? And students too. Susan, hello in Kalamazoo. Holland, in the house. Is it tulip weather yet? Trisha, no, but we're only about 5 months away, right? Okay, here we go. Let's get right to it. Okay, good, Courtney. Glad to hear that. Stephanie in Portage. Cody, I did enjoy my time there at the GR airport. I wasn't there for only about 20 minutes at 3:15 in the morning, right? It's pretty quiet there. I understand, Stephanie. Constantine in the house. Thanks, Ashley, for reporting in. Up to 3:20 now. Let's get right to it. Good evening to you, Gwen. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Marissa, I think you're on the right track. I think Friday is a better chance for a snow day. We'll get to that in a minute. But as I said tonight on News Channel 3 Live at 6, only one storm at a time, please. And I want to get through this one here first. Trisha, hello to you and Colin and Greg. Bring on the snow. We see what's on the rundown for us here. A weather alert day for tomorrow. It's primarily for tomorrow morning. I got the latest storm update. We're tracking those threats and monitoring some Arctic air. Monitoring Arctic air that I think is actually going to be possibly responsible for a snow day later on this week. Greg, with the score update. Thank you so much, buddy, for keeping us updated here. Harley, hey, good to hear from you and good to see you too. Hope you're doing all right. Joseph, hello. Tina, with the snow coming in, then the rain. I don't think there's going to be freezing rain because our temperatures actually are going to be moving up. Good question, though, Tina. And if there's one good thing about this pattern, it's that I don't think we're going to have to worry about freezing rain. Slushy, messy, wet snow, yes. Freezing rain, no. Temperatures are going to stay above freezing. Rigo, go Lions. You got that right. Alicia in Battle Creek, Susan in Nashville, work in Lansing, what you're in for. it could be a bit of a hazardous drive. It doesn't look as imposing as it did a couple of days ago, but I don't want anybody to let their guard down. I do think that we're going to have a wet snow that's coming in. So let's get right to it. There's the weather alert day. There's the weather alert day that you see. I'll say this because I know a lot of folks are asking about snowfall totals. Really hard to pin down. Really hard to pin down because this rain snow line, look, when the rain snow line starts to move north, right? When that rain snow line starts moving north, I mean, that's going to kill the accumulating snow. It's not going to kill the slush that's out there, but it's going to kill that accumulating snow. And that's when the accumulations will end and we'll start to see some compaction out there. So that's something to keep in mind. When is that going to take place? At Sturgis or in Kalamazoo or in Nashville or in Grand Rapids, Kentwood? That's still sort of up in the air. Corey in the house. Hello to you. Got to work at 10 a.m. Harley in Holland. You can deal with that, right? I think you'll be all right. You might just have to leave a little earlier. Up at 4 a.m. Have to be at work by 6. Susan, you're probably going to be beating this. You're probably going to be getting just on the leading edge of this. So I think you'll be doing good. Sherry, I don't think it's going to get icy tomorrow. I think tomorrow night, Wednesday, maybe. But even then, it just doesn't look like our temperatures are going to crash, And so I don't think that we're going to have too much ice. All right, here's the weather alert day that you see there for a snowy commute. Here's the latest on the winter weather advisory. All of West Michigan, in fact, you see just about the entire lower peninsula, right? It almost is under a winter weather advisory. That's what you see in purple there on the map. That's what you see on the map. Hey, Ben, good to see you. We'll be tracking the storm in Vicksburg early tomorrow morning. You'll be on the leading edge of that, right? You're right, Harley. Probably it stays warm enough to where you might end up with more rain than anything else. Mr. Grand Rapids is in the house. Come on. That means it's an official Facebook Live. We're up to 430 now in the room. Appreciate that. All right, so you see what we've got here on the left side of the screen. I'm going to shrink myself down just a little bit so that there we go. That's what we want to see. Now, when I say 1 to 4 inches, it's going to be about 1 to 2, maybe 1 to 3, I think, say I-94-ish south, maybe as far north as Allegan, Berry, and Eaton counties. The reason for that is because the rain's going to move in pretty quickly there, as I'll show you in the hour by hour that's coming up. If your point's north, if you're around I-96 north, that wet snow is going to be lingering a little bit longer, so that would give you a little bit more. So even in that zone, about 2 to 4 inches, let's say I-96-ish. North of that, when we're talking Newaygo County, talking about Spring Lake, but certainly up to Muskegon and Whitehall and Montague, and then over toward Wheatland and also Big Rapids, Mount Pleasant. The snow, I think, is going to be around longer there, so I think there's going to be higher accumulations there. I think there are going to be a little bit more sustained problems there. But it's a winter weather advisory area-wide. Earlier in the day, the National Weather Service was considering and had a winter storm watch. So it's a bit of a downgrade a little bit to go to winter weather advisory. But I don't want to say that in the sense that we have our guard down, right? All right, so there's the latest on the winter weather advisory. Let's get to it. On the radar, all quiet, nothing going on. I know you see that little strip there that's north of Grand Rapids over to Muskegon. That's nothing going on there. We zoom out. Now this is where the action is. And now you can see that huge slug of moisture moving up. I want to go to another view of this. This is going to be our satellite radar. Okay, this is important. You see that counterclockwise spin that right now is sort of right around northern Oklahoma, southern Kansas. By the way, Kansas, the situation today in Kansas, I saw some videos on Twitter that were ridiculous. Interstates shut down, blizzard conditions. And remember, blizzard conditions they can happen when you don't have a lot of snowfall. It doesn't mean that you got a foot of snow. It's the wind blowing that snow around consistently with consistent low visibility. That's what gave you those conditions. And that's what was going on in Kansas today. I was looking a little bit earlier at the University of Iowa camera that they have. It's Pentacrest, I think it's like their square, their campus square, I believe it is. And it's snowy. It's pretty snowy there in Iowa. As well. So you see that area of low pressure there. That's what's going to be moving up in our direction. Now, as that moves up, oh, you bet. Chris, by the way, Chris checking in. He's our MDOT driver. So remember when you see those orange trucks or any of the county trucks out there with those green and yellow flashing lights, please give them some room. Please give them some room. Let them do their job. Chris, and we'll be thinking about you tomorrow. We'll be thinking about you tomorrow when you're out there. All right, so you see the storm that's heading our way. You see how we are positioned on the east side of that low. Look at all of that rain that is moving up from the south. All of that rain that's moving up from the south. For example, it's a rain-snow mix right now in St. Louis. It's raining right now in Lexington, Kentucky. Okay, rain is starting to move into Indianapolis. Well, when that moisture gets here, it's going to start as a shot of wet snow. And that's when we're looking at a quick couple of inches, maybe up to 3, and that could be ill time for the morning commute. All right, we're going hour by hour. All right, we start off at midnight. We roll our clock forward. We're going to stop it here at 3 a.m. Now, you can see the precip is starting to really move in here. Along I-96, we have some wet snow coming down in Holland and Grand Rapids and Ionia. And I want you to remember this. Things don't deteriorate right away. Not with this anyway, and in most cases they don't. It's not like all of a sudden, boom, and everything is horrible. But they do deteriorate over time. So when we go from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. on the hour by hour, we stop it here. Now, all of our area, all of us under this wet snow canopy, if you will. And remember, at 6 a.m. here, I stop the clock, and that's when everybody's getting up and getting ready to go, right? Now, some of the early folks might be already on the road, but a lot of folks don't get out until 7 or 7:30 or 8. So we got a little time for this to lay down some slush on the roads. That's why we have the winter weather advisory. All right, that's why we have the winter weather advisory. Now, notice it's going to continue through 9 o'clock. And then watch the rain start to move up. And if you can, while you watch the rain move up from the south, I want you to also watch the temperature profile. You're going to see that move up as well. Remember, our magic number here is 32 degrees. All right, so watch this. By the way, clearing 500 now in the room. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. We stop the clock at noon, and I want you to notice here, I've got to reset something back here. This is still a work in progress, by the way, here in our digital studio. So we got it working. So as I stop the clock at noon, okay, stop the clock at noon. Tiffany, good to see you. Good to see you. Juanita, 8 inches there. I believe you're in Albion, right? I don't think you're going to get that much. Okay, so we're looking at noon now tomorrow. And we have this rain line from Lansing to, I call it Middleville. Just south of you there in Caledonia. We're talking northern Berry County. Just to the south of you there in southern Kent County. Right about Allegan, Hamilton Hawkeyes, you'll be right on that line at noon, right on that line. But certainly along I-94, even if you go from a line from South Haven to Allegan to Hastings to Charlotte to Lansing south, it's rain. And look at those temperatures in the mid-30s. Okay, now let's go from noontime, stop the clock right here at 6 p.m. You see that rain has now moved north. It's all the way over into the thumb. So in the thumb area, it's raining. Big Rapids, though, still seeing some very wet snow. Fremont and Muskegon still seeing wet snow. And the northern lower seeing some wet snow. So tomorrow, for example, during the afternoon, might be tough sledding, no pun intended, 131 north up to Cadillac, let's say, or US 10 over around Clare, or heading up toward Frankfurt, or certainly up toward Traverse City in that particular direction. But you can see that by 6 p.m. tomorrow, most of our area will be seeing rain with temperatures in the mid and even upper 30s. Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, Marshall, Sturgis, Benton Harbor making a run at 40. So that's why I say there's no problem with icing out there on the road. This is just a slushy mess. That's the problem that we're looking at. Darlene, hello to you in Fulton. Mark in Elkhart, Indiana. You're going to get mainly rain. You're going to get that burst of snow at first, but it's going to change over to rain there in Elkhart, Mark, pretty fast. I'm not predicting school closures, Ashley, because that is dangerous. I don't want to go there. I'll predict the weather. Thank you very much. Cold water, Amanda, it just depends on how much of that snow comes down. And as I said earlier on the school closings, this is a big question mark. Because it might be that when a lot of the superintendents are out there driving the district at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, that it's determined that it's not going to be that bad. It may not be sticking to the road in such a way, but I do think that we are going to have some wind blowing it around a little bit. Not too bad, but still, I do think it's going to be challenging commuting conditions too. Fremont, Indiana in the house. Melissa, thank you for being here. Debbie, hello to you. Debbie, also another Debbie in Galesburg, Mike, plowing in the Portage area, it is going to melt quickly. I can tell you that. This is not going to be. This isn't going to be the white gold, if you will, for our plow people. I don't think so. Marissa, he's ready to plow you out. I don't know. If you can wait, if you're out there, this is going to turn to a wet mess in the afternoon with those temperatures moving way up. All right, let's see what I got next on the agenda here. How much snow? All right, this is updated with the latest model stuff that we have. Where you see those purples coming in, so we're talking GR North, that's where there could be 4, maybe up to 6, maybe in some isolated cases, Newaygo County up to even close to 8. Where you see the lighter shading of blue, that's where it's mainly 1 to 3 and maybe some isolated higher amounts. And notice once you get, let's say, south of Kent, Ottawa, and Ionia counties, okay? South of Kent, Ottawa, and Ionia counties. Once you get south of that area, I think there that you're mainly looking at about 1 to 3 and maybe some isolated 4 spots. That's what I think we're looking at there. So most of the map that you see south of the purple, south of Grand Rapids, Holland, Ionia line, is looking mainly at about 1 to 3. 1 to 3. And the problem is that it's going to be Colin in the house. Thanks for checking in. The problem is that I think it's going to come with a burst of about 2 to 3 inches of snow or so in the morning. And that might be problematic for our roads and our commuting. And that, of course, would lead to some of those school closings, if there are any. Hey, I grabbed this graphic from Will from last night because I think it's excellent. Always like Will's graphics. And so this sort of gives an idea of what we're looking at. Notice, at about 3 o'clock in the morning till probably about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, we're looking at mainly just some wet snow. It's going to be moving in from south to north, And then we hit an area of mainly rain. Now, that is mainly going to be I-96 south. North of I-96, it's going to stay, I think, a wet snow longer, especially when you say get north of Rockford, up around Cedar Springs, certainly Whitehall, Montague, over in Newaygo County, northern Newaygo County, up around Fremont, for example. You're looking at mainly, I think, that staying wet snow through the day. Then, as you notice here, we go through 7 p.m. Tuesday, tomorrow night, and it is going to be mainly rain. And then it starts to get colder again, and we see it change back over into some snow early Wednesday morning. I don't think that there's going to be much additional accumulation with that on Wednesday. I think we will see some snow showers, but our temperatures are not going to be that cold. If this was sort of what I would consider to be a typical winter storm like this, it would be drawing in some uber cold air from Canada. We'd be talking about temperatures crashing down into the lower mid-20s. Then we would have some significant problems with ice on the roads. I don't see that. And as a result, I don't think that Wednesday, we're going to have our guard up. We'll still have some snow on Wednesday. But really the bulk of this, I think, will be done, especially I-96 south. The bulk of this will be done by early to mid-afternoon. And that's sort of reflected as well in the winter weather advisories, which go Allegan, Berry, Eaton counties south. It's from 1 a.m., so it starts in about 3.5 hours, until 11 a.m. I-96 area, it starts a little bit later and then goes until the late afternoon. And then north of I-96 is where it runs even later, because it's going to be, I think, more problematic. It's going to be lasting longer there. But we have plowable snow measuring 2 inches or more in Texas Township before the rain. I think so. I think chances are you're right on the edge, right on the line there, Kevin, right on the line. But I think that there's it's going to be close. It's going to be close. But I'll tell you this, whatever is out there, especially I-94 south, by mid-afternoon, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, it's going to be melting fast, because we're going to see those temperatures in the upper 30s to around 40 degrees. Marissa, I don't expect the wind to cause power outages tomorrow. It will be breezy. It will be windy. We're going to have wind gusts to 40 Wednesday, late tomorrow night and Wednesday morning into Wednesday. I don't expect it to be a problem. Again, that's a bit of a wild card, but I don't think so. Right now, you see the temperatures are in the lower 30s area wide. Let's get right to that 7-day, because there's another big weather story that's lurking. There's our weather alert day for tomorrow, primarily for the morning, for what I've got there. Commute from Jackson to Addison at 4:30 a.m. I think it'll be bearable, Kat. I think it'll be bearable because it's early enough. Emily, you're very welcome. You're taking your CDL road test on Wednesday. Oh, whoa. Okay. I don't think it's going to be problematic, especially if you can schedule it late morning into the afternoon, because our temperatures, I think, will be above freezing. And then I think things are going to be wet, but I don't expect it to be icy. Oh, George, you're good tonight. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. Whoa, in northern New Mexico, 90-mile-per-hour gust. Yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Well, the stuff that was going on in Kansas today, like I said, I saw some video from Kansas. That was pretty nuts, too. Let's talk about the second story that's coming up. All right, we have the weather alert day tomorrow. Once we get past that, we have some snow showers Wednesday. But then our snow chances are ramping back up Friday. And Friday, we could have another rain snow event, though I think it's mainly going to be snow here. But we are going to have some windy weather, windy conditions. This time, this storm that's coming through right now was suggested a week ago, and it was just too far out really to give any clarity. This storm that we're talking about now for Friday, Saturday is only like 4 or 5 days out. So I have a little bit more certainty that we're going to see a powerful winter storm come in here with some Arctic air to follow. That's in the Friday, Saturday, Sunday timeframe. So once we get past this storm, which tomorrow when we're on Facebook Live, believe me, we're going to turn our full attention to what's going to be coming at the end of the week. It's a pattern change, by the way. I mean, a serious pattern change. We've talked about pattern changes on here before. When we talk pattern change, it's something that lasts a little while, right? So this pattern change that we're in right now is still relatively mild. It's not bad temperature-wise, not Arctic, that's for sure. But the next one that comes in here, which is going to be in about 5 days, right? That's going to be Saturday-ish or so. I mean, we could see some serious snow in here with some just temperatures that the bottom's falling out. I mean, the temperatures are going crazy down, right? We're talking about maybe some single-digit lows over the weekend with high temperatures maybe only in the teens. Well, you see it. I got right there on Sunday and into Monday. So that's something that we'll talk about. Sherry's looking forward to the Arctic air. It is time to get that snowblower ready, Ryan. Hello, Patty in Van Buren County. Low by 8 next Monday. That's possible. That's possible. I don't know, Corey, if you're going to get that cold. Mike, I am. Hello to you. I can't see all of the comments because they're going by too fast when we have so many people in here. Hey, Marty, from Denver, from a really cold Denver. Look, you're experiencing that system before we are. I agree. You know, Ben, I don't think so. I don't think there's going to be any major shift. Of course, what do I know? But I don't think there's going to be any major shift in the pattern. That's why I really think that Friday is going to be could be pretty wild for us. Tomorrow in BC, Kelly, probably slushy. So just take your time. I think the important thing is for everybody to take your time tomorrow. I-94 around 8 a.m. tomorrow. I think it's going to be some wet snow, Ashley. Could be a couple of inches. Could be slushy, not icy necessarily. But, you get some of that snow compacted there on the street, and that could be a problem. Mike, will it be slippery outside? Yeah, I think so. I think so. The roads, it's going to be sort of iffy. The roads are going to be iffy, I think. Mike, possible blizzards, what's being thrown around for the weekend. I see it. I can see that. I don't ever like to throw that stuff out there, at least until we get closer to it. But it certainly looks compelling, right? Compelling. Yeah, Mike. Eau Claire and Sodus, about the same story, Christine. Looking for some morning snow, wet snow coming in. Hello, Tina and Jones. Pawpaw in the house, Tiff, thanks. Ashley, 1 p.m. funeral in Kalamazoo, followed by going to Fort Custer. Yeah, it should just be a cold rain. It's not going to be a pleasant day. Wish we had better news for you there for that funeral, Ashley. But I think by the time we get to 1 o'clock, it's just going to be a cold rain. Matt, can we get a Go Blue shout out? Up 17-10 at the half, halfway home, right? Halfway home. We can drive to Detroit for the Lions game. Okay, good question. Stay with me on that one. That could be treacherous or dangerous. Let me say that. Or I'm sorry, challenging. I prefer to use that word 5 days out. Challenging. That could be challenging. So stay with me on that, but something to think about. Sunday trip to Hudsonville from Battle Creek, same thing. Roads could be bad, Deb. Stay with me on that. I want to get past this system first, the one that we're dealing with tomorrow morning. And then, like I said, by this time tomorrow night, we're going to turn our sights to what's going to happen at the end of the week, because I think that's going to deserve a lot of attention. You're getting rain down there in Kentucky. If you get an inch, they're going to close everything down. You're on the wet side of that for sure. You're on the wet side. Deb, thanks for checking in from the Bluegrass State. By the way, speaking of points way south, severe weather, certainly a possibility. I haven't even really checked to see if anything's going on down there right now, but I think severe weather is a possibility down there in the southeast. It could be a pretty nasty day there as well. Tina, hello to you. How much rain from Kalamazoo? I think probably on the liquid side, we might see half an inch. So, if that causes a problem for you, let me take a look and see what we got here on the model on that real quick, For tomorrow, I think that you could be looking at maybe even 2/3 of an inch or so. But remember, some of that's going to come in the form of some wet snow, but it's just going to be a slushy, wet mess. Hey, welcome back to Kalamazoo this weekend, Corey. You're going to be freezing when you get back here. Bay City in the house. Lindsay, thank you so much for being here tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be messy there too, Lindsay, over there in Bay City, but you're going to get a lot of rain over there. I think there's going to be more chilly rain. Now, if you're north of the thumb, there's going to be more of that wet snow. But if you're in the Bay City area, certainly over toward Midland, Saginaw, Flint, working south especially, Michael, way down south, then I think you're going to be mainly seeing some rain. You're very welcome, Deb. You know what? Maybe I will, Harley. Thanks for that invite. We'll have to go see the eclipse, right? That's coming up in April, right? Mike, it is ready for some snow and cold. You're right about that. Cammie, no freezing rain tomorrow. No freezing rain. You don't have to worry about that. You do have to be concerned about the roads. Okay, I do think it could be slushy. There could be some compacted snow. So do keep that in mind. But Cammie, no freezing rain. No freezing rain. So that's good. Our temps are going to be above freezing throughout this event for the most part. Paige, thank you for that. And thanks, Justin. I appreciate it. Tim, hey, hello to you and Tammy. Thanks for the appreciation. I appreciate that very well. Friday morning, could be dicey. Friday morning. We're going to turn our attention to that one tomorrow. But yeah, Friday, just put a bug in your ear on that. Amber, that's going to be iffy. The snow closings, I think, are iffy for tomorrow. Rosie, hello to you. Thank you. 4 a.m. and 6 a.m., you're just going to be getting into it. So I think, especially if you're I-94 North, I think you'll probably be all right in that time frame, but it's going to be starting then. It's going to be starting. Thanks very much, Jason. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. Manistee, John, I haven't seen you in a little while. Thanks. Todd says, bring on the snow. You need some of that white gold out there, I think, right? And Kanisha, snow all week. Yeah, but not heavy all week. So Wednesday, Thursday, I think will be sort of on the lighter side. Friday, we're eyeing this next storm. All right, but we'll turn our attention to that, like I said, tomorrow. Cassopolis area, kids putting spoons in the freezer, wearing your pajamas inside out. What's the other one? Flushing ice cubes down the toilet. I do, Todd. I got my fingers crossed for you. It's been a bad year for that so far. But listen, I think that script is changing. Hey, everybody, if you plow for cash, right? If you plow for money, plowing for profit, the end of this week, I think things are going to be turning in your favor. You're very welcome, Tina in Kalamazoo. Thanks so much. Cassopolis, Carol, it's going to be iffy. It just depends on how fast and how wet and how goopy that snow is. If we get like a burst of 2 to 3 inches, it's possible. Then yeah, I could see, especially in a more rural district where you've got more of those dirt roads and side roads. It's something that folks don't think about too much. When you're in a metropolitan area, right? The routes are actually smaller. I mean, they don't cover as many miles as whenever you're in a rural area. And of course, in the metropolitan areas, you have more improved roads, paved roads, whereas in some of the rural communities, you don't. So those are some of the things that the superintendents are thinking about as well. I'll tell you this, my Monday, Friday filter, if it's a Monday or a Friday, I think the supers are more inclined to do it, gives you a 3-day weekend. I mean, this is in the middle of Tuesday. On the other side of that, you haven't used any yet. On the other side of that, if you're listening out there, if you're a super and you're listening, you might have to burn one on Friday. So you got a limited amount. So that's something else to think about. Corey, meantime, summertime in Australia. Everybody south of the equator right now saying, what are you talking about? All right, everybody. I'm going to check on out of here. I got about 9:30 on the clock, 9:33 to be exact. I'll be live at 10 on ARC and live at 11 on News Channel 3. Don't forget, I'm on Facebook at WWMT's Keith Thompson on Facebook, on Threads, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm out of Instagram jail, by the way, and Threads jail. So I'm on there at Weatherman Keith, the @ sign and Weatherman Keith, all lowercase, all one word. Alicia, thanks, and good night to you. Tim, tell Tammy hello, and good night to you. Kevin, thank you for checking in. Hey, don't forget, Jeff Porter's here in the morning. Are you talking about must-see TV or what? Jeff Porter's here in the morning, bright and early, 4:30 a.m. That's going to be some good stuff to watch. So give him a watch. He's going to he's going to be on top of it. And so just keep that in mind. Also, Colin Rogers, meteorologist Colin Rogers will be in here as well. We're going to have crews out on the field, out on the roads. So we are definitely prepared to let you know what's going on. That's 4:30 to 9 a.m. with live updates. He's got you again at noon. I'll be back 5:36. We'll do another Facebook Live tomorrow night right here at 9 o'clock. Centerville in the house. Laura, thank you very much. Marissa, I hope everybody has a safe trip for sure. Good evening to you. Corey, good to see you. Oh, thanks so much. And I hope you have an awesome evening as well. That's okay. I'll stop by Mario's and I'll tell him, to whip me up some good spaghetti or something like that, right? Tim, I agree with that. Everybody be safe tomorrow. Diana in the house from BC. Thanks for checking in. Hey, so also listen, this is a good time for our website, wwmt.com/weather, and also our free weather app. Track any of the advisories with us. You can track the radar with us. It's all right there on your device. Just go to your app store, WWMT weather. All right, everybody. Thanks again for being here. I appreciate it. We'll chat again tomorrow night. If I don't catch you on the tube tonight, please, please, please get plenty of rest so that you're in a good mood when you get in the car tomorrow. We don't need anybody driving around angry because that can lead to mistakes. And of course, give yourself some extra time. We all want to be safe tomorrow. So let's do that so that we can see each other again tomorrow night right here on Facebook Live. Good night, everybody.